He received his Bachelor of Science in 1982 and his Master's in 1984 from China Textile University, now known as Dunhua, and he spent time there as a lecturer and a researcher. After his master's degree, in 1994, he received his PhD in chemistry from Auburn University and spent time there in postdoc work in textile engineering. He then joined the University of California at Davis as part of the faculty. He's been there since then, achieving full professorship in 2004. He has extensive work in the area of textile chemistry, including functional modifications of polymers and fibers, much work in protective clothing, both antibacterial, thermal protection, and chemical protection, and functional and environmentally friendly textiles. His work in halamine chemistry is well renowned, and there are countries in the developing world using his chemistry to provide safe, clean drinking water today. He has won a number of awards. He's won the National Science Foundation Career Award, the Director's Award and Circle of Excellence from the U.S. National Textile Center, and he was also recipient of the 2007 AATCC J.W. Weaver Paper of the Year Award. He is currently also the John Scholar Professor at Dunhua University as part of the China Ministry of Education. Gang joined AATCC in 1995 and was a member at large for the Division of Cellular and Renewable Materials, American Chemical Society, and was a member of the Governing Council of the Fibrous Society. He's done extensive publications and extensive talks at events such as this. And with that, I want to turn it over to Dr. Sun.
I want to say thanks to the President, Bert Truesdale, for this nice introduction. And also I want to thank everyone for being here at so early morning. And I know it's pretty early to most of you, and also especially to me as well. So here's my title. And I want to start my the presentation with a brief introduction for myself. And here is that you see President Trudeau already mentioned those, but I did have this, but I want to give the credit to my mentors. So I received my master's degree from Dunhua University under the guidance of Professor Roger Shaw, and some of our audience probably know him. And also I received my PhD from Auburn University under the direction of the Professor Worley at chemistry, and also the postdoc mentorship of Dr. Roy Broughton. And also I have to give a lot of credit to Professor Ian Harding, and who is also sitting in the front row of this room, and who introduced me to Auburn University and probably brought me into the textile chemistry area. And also that my research areas mostly in this area. I will give this talk mostly focusing on this red color area, but I know that I probably don't have time to read line by line, and so I will skip those parts, and you will see the content in the next few minutes. So here, I start this with the textile chemistry. This is from the ACS. And I'm not going to read over line by line again because there's no time, but I want to see is textile chemistry is applied chemistry and mainly on the materials. And here it has a special application of the materials, that is our textile materials. And it's very interesting due to those kind of special features of the materials. I mostly see that I highlighted, we have a lot of interest in the surface chemistry. We also have a lot of interest on the modifications which involve our organic chemistry and also apply the physical chemistry, biochemistry, and so on. So you probably see here is I listed some, and also with recent development in the nanomaterials, biotechnology. So we are getting more of those expansion covering and applying those different areas, the special chemistry areas. Again, more specifically, you see the textile chemistry, that is the dyeing and also the dyeing finishing, and also as well as our materials interest group that covers the fiber and polymer chemistry area, and also we have a more and expansion. So I do see there's a bright future for the textile chemistry. So when I started to shift my interest into the textile chemistry areas, I have to see that we have a so broad area, so much of the interest to explore. So again, I've been working on mostly focusing on the personal protection, and also we are using this nanotechnology, so we have the interest to involve the bio-based materials, and more recently, we're not only just more on the defensive side, we also included those wearable sensors into those the protective garment. And a lot of research started with 20 years ago, my PhD training and also my PhD work related to the Olney chemistry. So I have to say that the Olney chemistry is pretty simple and originated from the water and water disinfection. So the first equation here is a basic water disinfection chemistry that comes from, this is the bond, we call it Olney bond, and once you put in water, it will dissociate and releasing the chlorine positive. A lot of people ask me, what's this chlorine positive? And we only saw the chlorine negative, which is called the chloride. Here, I have to see, this is we describe as an active chlorine, and also this chlorine comes from this structure. And also, you probably see the chlorine too. Even my daughter was asking me this morning, and then, could you define? Well, sure, yes. I said the chlorine 2, and the chlorine 2 contains chlorine positive and chlorine negative that make it. And so we describe this as the one that contributes to the active part of this chlorine 2, so we call it active chlorine. Anyway, so this is the one that's used for the swimming pool and provides our disinfection in the pool. And so most people attribute the disinfectant as this chlorine positive. But here is, and I have to tell you the second equation, which is the one we call the Olney chemistry. And this is very interesting. I put a reversible sign here, and this is on the materials, and the Olney itself is a biocide, and it provides the same equation, the same type of function as the chlorine positive. When it kills the bacteria, it will go back to this, we call the precursor structures. And this type of structure actually could be recharged back to this chlorine. So anyway, what are the structures? What are the structural requirements? I have to see here. Olney structures do have some kind of structural requirement, and we don't want to have any kind of hydrogen on the vicinal carbon. So you see the structures here are listed, it's R. There are no hydrogen, no alpha hydrogen on it. Well, also the Olneys follow such kind of a way, and here is I described them into 3 of those possible Olney structures. One is called the imide, and the second one is called amide, and the third one is called amine. But also we will practice, and you see those differences and in the next few slides. But here it tells you the dissociation constant, which means when they dissociate, release this chlorine positive. Here's the trend. Imide is way higher than the amide. Amide is way higher than the amine. But on the other side, the stability of the chlorine on these Olneys would be in the inverse order. So that's the one. And also I'll show you those constant range and for different structures. So this, you can see the differences. But look at it here, it will release a lot of the free chlorine in water, so which is why used for our swimming pool. And also nowadays, a lot of the toilet and cleaning products using the same kind of structure. But on the other side, if you change to this one, there's almost no free chlorine, no measurable free chlorine, and detected. So And the first one started with a very early structure, and that comes, we call that dimethyl or 5-dimethyl pydentyl. And you look at the structure, many of you are familiar with one of the famous cross-linking agent for the DP treatment of the carbon, which is called the DMDHEU. And those are indeed the formaldehyde derivatives. But we use this pydentyl structure, and also when we use it, we could connect those into the fabric. But the main purpose is not to use it to make the cross-linking, but instead we hope that we have one side connected, we have another side connected. One side connected you have here is amide, and another side connected, this is the imide. So amide or imide, either way to spell, but those are the ways to have different structures that fit into our original introduction with the Hermes. We also have another one prepared specifically come from this structure, but once we put it onto the fabric, only it provides such a structure we call the amine. So with such a combination, we will have all three structures onto the fabric. But eventually, we made those fabrics, and those already been in the market through this Walmart Target for past 15 years. And that's our product. And also, we have the bed linen sold and marketed through the Medal, also the incontinence pad made by those products. So anyway, the whole process is that we have this material and it goes by the killing bacteria. Obviously, you can refresh every time, you just need to recharge. But you don't need to do every time, but if you do every time, obviously it will guarantee you with the full function. But also we do have all structures inside. We can provide a lot of stability in the fast healing and the functions. So, but that actually, the one that uses formaldehyde also has some kind of drawback. And another limitation is only applied onto the cotton fabrics. So now, we changed this because we designed a new structure, and with those, the similar kind of, we call hide and tone structures, but those with the vinyl structures brings in the reaction, so-called polymerization or radical polymerization possible to the fibers. Eventually, this is very recent work that we could incorporate those things into the polyester. And eventually, I'll just show you in next few slides. That's the one that we can effectively surface modified polyester. And this is another side product, not only just try to make these Hermes onto the fabric, but we made the real progress on the potential reactions on the surface of the polyester. So here, just give you a little bit busy, too crowded slides, but I want to show you some of the control elements. First of all, we use this so-called Hansen solubility parameter, which is a three-dimensional Hansen solubility the considerations. Many of you learned the polymer chemistry that involves the solubility consideration, but the Hansen solubility parameters comes from three different aspects. One is called polar, one is called the dipole, second one is called polar, third one is called hydrogen bond. So, which is much more comprehensive than the initial consideration. And also, here we do have the so-called distance of this Hansen solubility, and corresponding to if this is the polymer, this is the initiator, those are the monomers, functional monomers intended to be grafted onto it. We have the host kind of analysis, because that is the balance of the very complicated system here, and how do we manage it. But I want to make it short because we don't have time, and I do expect to have such kind of explanation and more detailed presentations at AATCC in the future conferences. So I want to tell you that here is, if we can manage our initiator with a very close interaction with the polyester, because we do want to have the initiations of the radicals on the surface of the radical, so we would like to have an initiator. This is the BPO. It has a very close distance with the PET. So this turned out to be the very efficient initiator. But we do want to have our monomers to stay far away from the polyester, more closer to the initiator rather than than the polymer. So what you see here is, and we have those monomers that work very efficiently. So I have this data. So here is, you will see the BPO always provides a very good yield and the surface grafting. Also, you will see the monomers with those perfect fitting into our condition. So we have some of those very nice products, polyester. This is the polyester micro surface modified. So anyway, that also brings in the very powerful halogen to the polyester nowadays, just recently. And this is another one that we made, also try to expand the halogens to be able to apply to all the fibers. This goes to the olefin fibers. So we also try to design the same kind of structures onto the polyolefin structures. So here's olefin polymer, and actually expanded to the polyethylene, polypropylene, and also some of the copolymers containing those with the hydroxy groups. So we use those three type of those monomers and containing those vinyl groups, and obviously contain those. This is a very interesting one, and that is commercially available, but we did use it. So anyway, those are the ways that we do. And the feature is that this reaction runs in the extruder. So you don't need to go for a separate reaction. You can go, I will use the next slide, but I want to tell you the features of this here. So this is the so-called radical graft polymerization, and also we have the initiator. The initiator also fit into the use of the selection of those initiators. And also here is, we still will implement our halogen rechargeable functions here at the end. So here, this is the one. Now, we did with this commercially available, but now we can make it in the kilo or pilot scale type of structure. So we have a series of the publications. And just recently, in fact, just in this month, and such a kind of structure is just published at the front page of Microbiome Science Journal this month's issue, and it's showing you this type of the polymer and that can serve as a food package material for killing the bacteria. And so that's the same application. But I want to go a little bit detail with this. So you will see some of these features of this film. But in fact, this film is a very I would say it's still a kind of robust film, and even after the modification, although the only change is you will probably see here is a little bit of toughness difference, but the flexibility and the rigidity are still the same. So as a packaging material, particularly for the food and fresh food produced, and I think there's a lot of application. And the most feature comes from this film that will provide a very strong chlorine content, and that you can reuse it. Eventually, this is for the beans and ports of the carrying those fresh produce, like a spinach. And also on the heavy the biological burden. And you still see it provides two other gears, very heavy, 2,000 COD, and very regular ones, and very quick. But we never stop, because we try to make it into the fibers. We try to really demonstrate the power of this halogen, and we make that into the nanofiber. This is the one process that we use, still using the twin screw extruder that can make this reaction and make those regular thermoplastic fibers into nanofiber. The early one, I used this extruder to run the reaction, because most of the people that who are working in the olefin and polypropylene areas knows that compounding is also using this and to change the structures, change the molecular weight of the polypropylene. But here, we use it as another processor that we mix with the two different polymers, and we use the cellulose acetate as a sacrificial material, and we use our thermoplastic fiber as a minor. But once we extrude it, we remove the cellulose acetate, we were able to get the very fine nanofibers. So this is a very high throughput process, environmentally friendly, because this polymer is fully recyclable, and so this already goes into the very large manufacturing process. It has a lot of advantages versus the electron spinning process because this is the one that is specifically fit for polyester and polypropylene plastics. Well, anyway, I just want to mention this is the additional to the Helamis. We were able to get into the fibers, and in fact, we really got in the PTT, polytrimethylene terephthalate. We can reach to the 55, this is the very low, and 55 nanometer, very uniform nanofiber size. But we do have a distribution. But I still want to come back to our Helamin. So we use it to make these polymers into the nanofiber, and so we got into a different content to make it into a non-woven materials. When we have a different composition into the non-woven structures, and eventually you will see here are the and this is the basic non-woven covered by the nanofibers. But what we use is, and I want to demonstrate that it's such a powerful material. So here, actually, you see those are the chlorine contents, and also this is those materials you can still reuse for 3 times. But this is the non-woven, it's quite vulnerable to the mechanical and the long-term, but it works okay. And also here we have the active chlorine content for long storage. So those materials are quite stable. But I want to demonstrate here we could use this material very quick kill, 15 minutes to kill 6 log, 7 log bacteria. But this comes from the olefin fiber, polyolefin, not from our cotton or regular fabric. So non-woven. And also because those materials are mostly used for the real biological chemical protective suit. So we use it for a kind of such a challenging test. It's called ISO 2016, which is called a wet bacterial penetration test. So when we have such a content of the nanofibers, you can let the body fluid, blood, whichever is called wet, and penetrate through your fabric with all those germs already been killed. So you see it's clean. So even after 15 minutes, there's nothing. But still you see it's wet, moisture. So anyway, and this one also served very well to detoxify the chemicals. So those was the samples we provided to the defense, to the army. So that is the one, and even for chemical biological protection. So we reach our goal to make this very strong, powerful biological and chemical personal protective fabric material. So here, and also we use it to make into the electron spun fiber, because here we have a little bit more of the space, and then we will be able to have another application I want to flash a little bit better quickly. So here we can still reuse for many types of, this is actually for water filters. It kills bacteria, and very, very intricately because we use it as a water filter. You'll see here and this serves as another application for filtration of the water. And very efficient, high flush, and high flux, and also kills rapidly, and so you can still recharge. So that's another recent improvement. In fact, this paper just accepted this week by ECS journal. So with the Helamin discussed, and I spent too much time on Helamin, but I also want to include other technologies developed in my group on personal protection, particularly on the biological and functions. So we use this one because we do realize that the Helamin structures have some limitation, and Helamin structures could not survive the sterilization and also the exposure to the high temperature, so which is the limitation. Another issue is most of the Helamines are not so stable under the heavy UV exposure. And at a certain application, you also some people don't like the free chlorine smell on their garment, even though that we guarantee them very low. But if you store for a little longer in the sealed environment, it could smell those. So here, and we try to use hydrogen peroxide as another type of option. Why we use it? Because I try to use the color to label this. It's called a little more green. And also, there are a little bit interesting and a story about the hydrogen peroxide, and also including we have a little bit more broader inclusion of this reactive oxygen species, but generally that can be possibly generated by dyes. And I will show you this, how it works. So this is the photochemistry, and I expanded it into the Atwell Olney type of structures. So we all see here are those. I apologize for a little bit more chemistry. And this is from here orbitals of those the two carbonyl structure, and we have the two lone pair. And under this, we define those this antibonding, this non-bonding, this is the bonding structures. But when we shine the light, what happens is one electron, the paired electron, will be excited into the antibodies orbital. But this type of structure we describe as a singlet excited state. And this one actually is very, very highly unstable. It could quickly go back to the ground state. But there's another possibility. It goes by the intersystem crossing. This changes the direction you saw it. And this is described as a triplet. But triplet is much more stable and it has other features. Okay, and certain such structures would have a preferred change from singlet to triplet. I have to tell you that not all those, in fact, all dyes absorb the light will become excited into singlet, but not all of them could become the triplet. Only limited structures. We have a full analysis. What are the possible structures? What are those possible applications? But I'm going to flip over a little bit more. So show you here. The overall, this diagram shows you the ground state goes to the singlet, and also intersystem crossing goes to the triplet. But triplet, and here is those states, if you go back, it's a fluorescent effect. Triplet go back, it's a phosphorescent effect. Okay, but if the structure does not go either way, it will have the possibility to react with the fiber. And in fact, we have a lot of dyes go this. The most feature of those dyes, they all have a lower light stability. So we have some dyes, they have a color fading effect, and we have to look at the structure, and possibly could go through this structure. So here, it will go this radicals. A little bit more. So eventually I want to make it short, and so going back into this, interacting with the oxygen in the air, what you have is you have all this singlet oxygen, you have this superoxide, you have this peroxide radical, and finally you have all this. Those all described here, highlighted with red, and those are all called reactive oxygen species. But those one is very long lasting, but the rest are short life, extremely short life. Okay, and I do have this feature. So we made this fabric that interacted with those, and also here is that you see this fabric can generate hydrogen peroxide. We use hydrogen peroxide to treat, and in water we will see here are those blue shape. It's very strong, and also with the antibacterial effect. And also we incorporated into the nanofibers, and with the same structure, which is the Atwell, and this is nanofiber. And also, what you see here is you see those as a very strong antibacterial functions. But here is a 30 minutes. You have to expose to light 60 minutes. But here is all 60 minutes you can use for 3 times more. So we can demonstrate those type of functions even using dyes. But there are more of this. And then in fact, we published a lab those paper using commercial dyes and also different alternatives. But more recently, we found that even interesting results here is that some of the structures are able to store this energy. And what is, if we take this fabric and prepare and put it in the the jar and save it for a long time, we take it out and do the test on the dark. We still find active reactive oxygen species. And we call this as a kind of a light storage, the energy storage, because this is the one that we show. And we found out that the hydrogen peroxide produced by 13 of these chemicals, and some of them 600 ppm, so high. and unbelievable. So we really like this result because we use and we can explain those because it still goes by those type of reactions, and we understand where it stops, where it starts, and I have all the reactions. Again, I hope that in the future presentation I will explain a little bit more on the photochemistry side, but I want to show you the results. The results here are, and this is showing, and with those kinds of chemicals, and it provides a 99.99 quick kill, comparing in under very high, heavy biological burden, and compare with the halamine, and the halamine takes 10 minutes. Actually, this takes a few minutes, much faster, because it's generating, storing a huge amount of petrochemical toxins. So that would be environmentally safe and also very interesting results. So anyway, I stop here for those protective functions. And I do have a lot more to discuss, but there's not enough time. I do want to discuss something that is more applicable to our cotton. And it seems that in the past few years, I received a lot of support from Cotton Incorporated. We worked on the cross-linking of the cotton. And we also worked on other functions, because here is very interesting. I know a lot of people are familiar with the cross-linking and wrinkle treatment, wrinkle-resistant finishing of the cotton, particularly in recent years with the polycarboxylic acid. And with the support from Cotton Inc., we have systematically started some of this polycarboxylic acid. So here is the most famous one is BTCA. The BTCA, everyone understands, it goes by 2 steps to cross-link cellulose. So what is the 2 steps? The first step is that it forms a hydride. Second, in fact, it involves multiple steps to really reach those 2 anhydrides. It does not form simultaneously, actually. And here is that once you go into those, it will be able to cross-link it. So I call it, it's a 2-step reaction. And also, in our research, we use some of these aromatics. And this is the BPTCA, and the one that having photofunction, because this is the one that really provides the photofunctions. We found this goes by a different mechanism. This is called a 1-step reaction. And why it goes 1-step reaction, I will quickly go over and just briefly mention something. But I want to compare with our the traditional cross-linking. This is using DMPHEU, and which is a formaldehyde derivative. There's actually, it's a very fast, it's multi-stage reactions. It goes by, and if you learn this the mechanisms, although it looks like a directed formula cross-linker, but in fact it forms a resin. Resin means there's multiple monomers and linked together, and I will tell you what are those, and also what are the preferred and resin structure. But the more intriguing part is analyzing those. You obviously find out this reaction is very easy, goes to any step, any stage. But this actually is a 1-step reaction, and I would think this is much better than the 2-step, because 2-step you have to form the hydride, which is a rate-determining reaction, and also here to form this ester bond. So there are a little more limitations. Well, very interesting part is that we found out all those, come back, sorry, and for those, I listed the catalyst 1, catalyst B, A and B, and the catalyst. In fact, we found that the catalysts are all same. Which was catalyst is called sodium hyperphosphide, then SHP. So we have to do a little bit more systematic study. We found out this reaction actually follows the so-called Fischer reaction, the acid catalyzed reaction. A little bit more chemistry here, and it goes. But after analysis, we found out there are acid catalyzed reactions. We use acid salt because SHP is sodium hyperphosphide. It has a pKa at 1.3. It's a salt formed by very strong acid, sodium salt. Also, there is a kind of a B minus. B minus comes from the counter ion of this acid, and also should and that there's something limit. There's something requirement. So eventually, we can summarize that the SHP provides very interesting functions to the catalysis of the reaction. It's low pH, and also there's a lot of those acid anions. We have a thorough analysis and modeling, and also we have this lower pH. And if you have a further low pH, you could damage. But if you have a higher pH, it would reduce the reaction speed. So SHP provides very interesting one. I have all the data to support those assumptions. So first one, we found in the reaction of the BTCA, SHP plays another role. Here are two roles because SHP has a sodium ion. The sodium ion actually catalyzes the anhydride formation. Why? Because we did a study. We use lithium, sodium, potassium, and the difference is the ion size. The size of these ions are changing from those. Here is you see the hydrogen, the proton is 0.3 and 8 angstrom, and the lithium is almost double, and here is bigger and even bigger. What you get is very interesting. You have, if you do not have any kind of the acid ions, but you only use the cation and we use base. We also found very interesting improving the wrinkle recovery angle. And also we have the modeling, we have this thermal analysis. We found out with the potassium, it can easily form anhydride structure. Okay, so we know that the catalyst A comes from the cation. Catalyst B actually comes from the anion. We have more of this analysis, so but I have to cut a little bit short, so sorry for this. But I want to move into a little bit more interesting discussion. That is the size and affinity of this polycarboxylic acid also affect this cross-linking effect. And here is what are the size and also what are the affinity effect. Is that I have so many different polycarboxylic acid used for the reactions. The major issue is you read these highlighted areas, you see the wrinkle recovery angle are very high, but the DPs are different. So there are some inconsistency of the DP and the wrinkle recovery angle. We believe it's come from the structure, and in fact, it means the cross-linking happens at the different regions of the cellulose. Mostly, the large sizes could be only on the surface, but the smaller sizes could go into the fibers. So we have to prove this. We have all those structures listed here. So what we want to do is we use different models. Those models are here, the structures. You see the smaller acid, and we want to see that whether this small acid would be able to penetrate even deeper into the fiber. But indeed, we tried those, and we found out under those the pH here is the pH similar. And the smaller ones goes much deeper and causing more damage. This is actually tensile stress loss. Okay, everything proved our result. And also we use a dye effect. We changed our polycarboxylic acid. We found out that there's also the ratios in the depths of the dyes. So anyway, those prove that the size and also affinity, I do not have to go for the affinity discussion, but here is, I do have this for the catalyst, because we also found out SSP fit not only just showing you this catalytic effect, we could select other acid, other catalyst to do to serve as a catalyst, and those are all the possible catalysts we selected. We found out very interesting result showing not only just as here is we found all the smaller size would be better. So look at it here. This is the SHP's anion smallest, 2.5 angstrom. Okay, and also we have here is this phosphate relatively bigger. And people always say the phosphate comes very close. Yeah, well, this difference already made it and less efficient. The one that close to it is this dichloroacetic acid, 2.6. And we found this actually served very well as a replacement of the SHP. But unfortunately, we learned this one has some kind of health issues. So we can use it, but we prove our chemistry. And also, I have this is the affinity. I need to have a more lengthy discussions. Those comes from the calculation of the SHP. Another interesting part. Also, we found out that do we understand the cellulose structure? I show you this is the crystal structure that recently and already been published. Also, if you look carefully at the cellulose tissue structures and you understand that we have this, what are the potential cross-linking sites? So I analyzed those all the structures in the crystal region, and I found out. So to summarize here is possible range would be in the 2.7 to 5.5 angstroms. That's the distance of those hydroxy groups in two of the cell here, the different cellulose chains. That the closest one would be in this region. If you can cross-link those things, you should be able to reach very efficient cross-linking and also wrinkle resistance structures. Those are the different structures that come from the publication. What I want to tell you is, here is the radius of our the acid, and also I include the DMDHU. So I provide a kind of analysis because we link one of this structure to the cellulose and with another group. So we hook this to the cellulose. We have one bond free. We want to see how far it can reach, what would be the conformational change, and also the difference. So we have all the structures listed here, and these are the DMDHU with the two. One is monomer, here's dimer. And very quick here, actually this is the calculation of the conformation. This comes from a citric acid. This is the BTCA. This is from another acid which has this is called the EGBTA. And there's anyway a little bit more crowded, but this is our DMDHU. What is the information you got? DMD2 has a very efficient and cross-linking structure. Here is this based on the structural analysis here. And DMD2 dimer, the range would be 4 to 7 angstroms. And also this is the possibility. Actually, if you see more of this, it's more occur at this length. Which one has closest range to this one is a BTCA. The next one actually is a citric acid. You probably see this one, but this one actually, the range is 13 to 16. It's beyond. Okay, it's beyond our possible and effective cross-linking range. By the way, I want to summarize here is DMDHU certainly is the most effective. If you look at all the polycarboxylic acid possibly listed, and the BTCA, the CA, citric acid, are most of the closest. But I do have another presentation mostly focusing on the citric acid, which is environmentally friendly. But there's a way to resolve those issues. So I welcome you to my another talk in the chemistry interest group at 10 what time. So I want to conclude my talk, and here is the summary. And we do have our key factors, and I realize I don't have time, so I'm going to flip over. But we do have, I have to thank all the students and collaborators and funding agencies, specifically National Science Foundation. So I received numerous grants from National Science Foundation, National Textile Center, although it does not exist now. And also the DOD's support, USDA, and I received the numerous support from those California different agencies, and also Cotton Incorporated and Herald Source, and even including Newell and Robert Mead. And thank you very much for your attention.